back. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone from all the way over here from Germany and from Israel. I'd like to welcome you. This is the Digital Fashion Innovator Series on LinkedIn Live. My name is Marie Bastian, and I'm the CEO and founder of World of Mesh, and I'm your host for today's session. And this new digital era of digital fashion is just bringing together all these amazing talents from all around the globe. And I'm always so excited to have you guys on to share your story and to shed light on the amazing projects and businesses and innovations that you guys are contributing to inspire new creators coming in, but also the fashion industry at large. And all our guests are always speaking on behalf of themselves, not for the companies they work at. And if you have any questions, feel free to add them in the comments. We'd be glad to bring you guys into this conversation and to answer any questions that are on your mind. All right. So today I would like to welcome my guest for today, Aleksashev-Arno. Thank you so much for joining us today. So good to have you.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. And my big pleasure to be a guest is some different and interesting, ways how you look on the fashion. And I would like to facilitate my vision and make some input. And I'm glad to represent the choice and highlight. It's a big pleasure for me to sharing my all experience and knowledges. Thank you for having me.
So good to have you on. So, I'll just give you guys a quick introduction of Alexander. He's an innovation researcher with a background in economics and professional swimming. So that's something we actually have in common, by the way. I've been a swimmer too. You bring a unique perspective on solving challenges, and your passion lies in fostering cultures and advancing digital impactful elements through your consultancy work. But you also specialize on especially leveraging Web3 technologies and decentralization, everything from VR, AR, MR to AI, which is the recent thing we added on top, to help organizations create a more sustainable, transparent, and equitable world. And with expertise, your background's actually in fintech since 2010, which I found very interesting. We're going to get into. You do understand the details of the digital ecosystems to a very deep level and how they can be harnessed for a positive society impact. And your focus for sure is always on human-centric digital topics, working with organizations to really enhance diversity and inclusion, which is the main big topic which I love about your project, and why I'm so glad to have you on and to talk about different frameworks and develop sustainable and inclusive strategies for this digital age. So I hope I summed it up correctly on that spot.
It's much, sorry, but it is. No. It's my experience.
It just shows how far your journey already came to you and how many different views of this digital ecosystem you're bringing in and how it all comes together, because that's what makes us unique, right?
100%. Thank you so much for introduction. Maybe I introduce very shortly my stage. I'm Aleksashev-Arno. He is they that we discuss a bit. They, may I call you they? I told yes, because I have a neurodiversity. There's sometimes, in one person can be a couple of identities and some actions can be behind they. I'm founder of The Choice, and my background is very, in my meaning, it's very unique because I would like maybe talk about this. Every culture have their own identity, and every identity have their own culture. I think this is controversial, but a bit deep for me. And I would like to start to explain about the biases and exceptions, because it's about the identities. And people sometimes can be in the group, marginalizing group, or, a not inclusive group, just because others have some biases about the just identity. And I was born in the Belarus with a Jewish big Rus family, and was with the Belarusian roots, but a different sense against Soviet Union. And there was Soviet Union, whereas I not feel welcoming. And there was my first understanding about the diversity and the inclusion, because you normal feel family, but outside you could be not normal, and you do not understand why, when especially you're little. My neurodiversity is coming very early, and it was hyperactivities, and like at every start to be a man early. Like it, and it's helped me in the sports. It is also for me, it was big experience during this time and studying Spanish school, whereas like I traveling a lot in my life, and there's a showing me a different communities or societies where you can be a different identity and will be assumed good, and but this identity will be not working in another's. I'm discovering religion because in my family I have many religions, different school, Olympic school and sports school. There's a was experience. Wow. And it was my period when I would like to be open as a gay, and this was not welcoming, but against a lot of sportsmen, and I'm pushing back and I stand up for especially LGBTQ plus, because it's like a link for me, especially and the sport. Um, Journey big. I used living in 7 countries for long, more than 30 countries behind me, and I learned that this culture is different. We don't need to compete this culture. We need to enjoy. There's a beautiful, if like it, some transformation of something, and we have become the choice to at this stage. I was always like it interesting by my life experience from the little. I was a privilege with a lot of attention, but be a super minority, like it in this sense. There's my luck, and not everyone have this luck. I really appreciate this situation. But also I was have old devices, and I was generations who is growing with the tech, electronic tech, Game Boys, like computers and CDs, videos, and I use it like in daily basis and push it my family. And definitely I use in the fintech and the forex companies with a company who is a bring first trading technology in this world, kind of digitalize funds and allow trade the funds in the real time. Yeah, was not done before, and during this time, a scam was growing because the marketing and internet and Web 2 start growing, and
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
right, because like it identities, people made it like many. Still, you can in Facebook, Instagram, like it made it many different accounts and by this and bots, and there is a like a very big step Web 2, but is bring so much beautiful technologies that we are just now try to elaborate and talk and see a different application, but they was done before, but they was used by behind the scenes and not in good purpose.
Exactly.
And I saw it. I cannot like it be more that know this darkness, not only not support it and be silent, is be against it. And definitely Web3 is decentralization, is a back power for the user. There's a more fair ecosystem. You not slave for banking or governments. And there's a place where the democracy have purely sense, and by this, democracy can control governments. And there's an interesting part, right? But
Giving
choice
power
is
to
coming.
the people.
Yeah, give power for people because they supposed to be. They're all economic like it. We don't need data centers anymore, for example. We have our mobile devices or our devices, what we have in our hands so strong, and we can accumulate, or providing computing power and be rewarded by the technologies, a peer-to-peer connection. We not pay third party as a AW, if I can, like it make it names of the is a rudiment, from the progress. They are made it work, but they accumulate a lot of funds for do nothing. We need to give funds for the people. For me, it's not only showing, but it's the sustainability in both ways. 7 years ago, I started to understand about my diversity and some problem by my needs that I would like to go digitally somewhere and have some communities that I would like to talk about my problems of people of interest, but be a kind of protected a bit. And I cannot find any technology. And how has choice become?
And
And
that's where the best ideas evolve. When you are affected by a problem you don't find any solutions about, and then you come up with your own. That's where the best ideas are born.
Yeah, it is like in my sense, because I'm completely understand. Again, there is a not crazy numbers. It wasn't the Facebook. Yeah, the internet and interest and diversity is come. Yeah, we not expect, there is a kind of ideas becoming the big startups or something. But if choice can help at least one person, or one person in choice from choice will help other persons, like it will be a big changes, because in choice we have a philosophy on the back. There is a Jewish philosophy about the transformation of world.
Mm.
And there's a philosophy very easy that is a cycle of transformation calling tikkun olam, and you can transform world by transform yourself, your family, your community, society, and whole world. And there is a principle of domino is easy. And why is important to have choice? I don't need to explain. Like everyone have a choice, and in my vision and world, I just dilute people on the good people or bad people, and it's your choice where to be. Yeah, and we try to provide this choice.
That's why I thought the name was so perfect. It was just like spot on, and I can see our communities joining too, and they're all celebrating you guys. Uh,
Emily,
Emily is also a big
Julia,
fan of Choice,
Barbara.
so thanks everyone for joining, and hi. So yeah, I mean, you went so much into detail where you're coming from and how you actually came up with the idea for Choice. So if I would like sum it up, Choice is like a safe space, a community space that's defining the future through inclusivity, which has a big focus on that innovation and also empowering the community as well, right? And I know that you always highlight the word humanity, that you're serving humanity and finding ways to really, really create these, like I said, safe spaces for people to engage, to learn from each other, and to work together to the greater goal we're moving towards. And the reason why I was so excited to bring you on right now is because we know there's so many yeah, it feels like the world's taking like 5 steps back right now. We had everything going on in the news. I mean, starting with Meta rolling back their DEI programs and so on and so on. And we can name like countless numbers. A lot of companies and brands are unfortunately going the same direction. And for me personally, it was really important to make a stance here on this platform as well. And I'm so happy that I can do it with you, that it's very clear that World of Mesh and our platform, the Digital Fashion Innovator Series, is always going to support diversity, inclusion, and like my favorite club says, all creatures are welcome. Everyone from on the side in between. I think All Creatures Are Welcome is a title that the KS Computer Club has in Germany, which I really like because it goes even beyond humans. But yeah, so thank you so much for running us through your backstory. I would love to go a little bit more into choice for anyone out there who's still trying to grasp what it actually is, because we have some people also joining that are maybe not so much into the Web3 community in the world, that maybe don't know exactly some of the terms we were talking about. So I love breaking them down. If you would explain to somebody who has no idea what Web3 is, what choice is, and what's so special about it, how would you put it like in 2-3 sentences? How could you break it down for someone out there?
So, current stage of our short statement. Yeah, choice is a digital foundation
Mhm.
that focusing on culture of diversity and inclusion
Mhm.
through secure and immersive technologies. Secure, there is a blockchain, there is a protected data. Immersive technologies is extended realities and VR, virtual reality, augmented reality, or even mixed reality.
Very nice.
Sure,
Yeah,
it's
I love breaking.
understandable. I
Yeah, yeah.
try it.
No, it's good that, but that's I always try to think out of the lens of anyone joining who's so everyone's on board with this conversation.
Because maybe people know about the choice. It's strong mentation, because we are pretty like it from 2022, very active in LinkedIn, and I think we have around people who watching and might hear about us. People know about Global Digital Pride campaign. There's a stand for LGBTQ plus and diversity in general. And the choices was transformed to start to standing for LGBTQ plus. But by time and the people inside, we are getting like three genders. We have got it a difficult ethnicity. We have social economic status different, or educations, or countries, or neurodiversity, or physical diversity, and we become stand for all digital creatures, like, and it's digital as well, because in our mission to combine, to make this balance, we are going digitally to give our like proof that with more than 50 countries inside the choice was pursued and good numbers by different campaigns and co-creations that we made. But definitely it was related some pride, maybe symbolic, like at rainbows. But again, the choice become as a DAO at the moment. We are transformed from the community. And in this sense, we have a huge document, white paper in our site. If I make it advertising, name of our site is the choice.love. It's very easy. You
We
can
can edit
go and
the comments
see,
afterwards.
yeah, choice.love. I think not need much to talk about. And there's a white paper. There is like it explains how is the DAO working, and there's a big document that we have made it with Hamily Rodriguez. Yeah, she's part of the choice. She's actually represent us in the United Kingdom in London, and is officially representative because we will be a build openly organization. Yeah, but again, we try to make it fair and right now and sustainable. And main focus definitely to make it treasury. And after this, like launch any like rewarding tokens, or
Yeah,
we are now starting from the point that by transforming choice, is very centralized community, or, like a company to DAO. There's also big milestone personal, because I distributing all my power for the people whom I trust. And exactly. Traditional organizations, that is was exactly in the church, everything going through me, and there was like little groups. But in DAO, now everyone who is a main DAO step in and added, they are having an owning part of choice. And
yeah,
there's very important. And we also choosing humanistic approach that one person, one vote. You can have, in the future, a lot of tokens that you can convert and link to a real funds. But still, even me, I just can have a one vote in the DAO.
exactly. So I just pulled up this diagram there to visualize a little bit what we're talking about, because Choice as an organization went through a huge transformation just last week. So, to anyone out there who's already following, you probably saw all the posts and the new members being introduced. This is also like a main part of our conversation today, because we really want to explain what a DAO is for anyone out there who didn't hear it yet. And the DAO is basically a new organization form that has a really low hierarchy. So you can see on the left the traditional one, and on the right the DAO organizational structure and how it works. Could you speak to us a little bit, like the differences between the two models, why you transitioned to a DAO, and yeah, how maybe an example of how it works for anyone out there?
Yeah, of course. Traditionals, I was in the center, like by many times, because many people supporting choice. And again, this is very hard time. There's people like burnout, some left choice. Yeah, but still, I was on the center, and all processes coming and going through me. Actually, a community participate, community co-create, community help, but going all the through me. And I decided that it's not a good right way, because who is doing something for choice? They are owners. I don't want to just reward, by token. I would like to invite and have a round table for people who is really was involved long time from the beginning, who is contributing like it so much on the early stage, where it's pretty hard, to pushing. Now some people know choice and it's easy to get, some attention that this was not in the past. And right now we are like it in the ways that this will be our 10 plus, very little plus of main DAO, where the people who stand along, where we are diluted for console, for treasury consoles, for community consoles, and protocol consoles, so development consoles, because we have envisioned also that we will be taught. By this, we will be establishing sub-DAOs, whereas more people can in and getting voice power is rewarding, and the sub-DAO can be linked and request some funds or support, by main DAO. And this way, we are also not affecting on the direction, because some people contributing some a bit, some more, but differ for everyone who was long from the beginning and through very hard situation. They are becoming the main DAO. We'll have sub DAOs. People will be our step in main DAO through the time and mechanism. But everything described in our white papers, there's a book of my life, I would like to say, because how many years I'm doing, and thank you again, Emily Rodriguez, that she is like, it put me in the table and pushed me to do it together. We was on the live and writing. This was hard, but I super happy because really we're all experienced in 7 years, and I'm applying with the next vision, and all was accepted without no changes. It was agree, and people learning before stepping them down our white paper and manifesto.
Yeah, that's definitely a baby to have a look into. It's a really great short and sweet summary with a lot of details, though, anyway, that explains the intricate, the setup of the choice DAO, and also choice ID, which we'll get to in a bit. I'd love to just run through like an example, because I've been following your posts as well. So the differences between the two models right now, and why you transferred over to choosing a DAO as organizational structure for choice. You just mentioned that you also collaborate and co-create with your members as well in community. And I just recently saw your post that you had a collaboration going on with a creative, a designer who, basically when they create a digital art piece or a digital wearable, like a digital garment, you basically the creators profit from these sales as well. It's split up like about 50-50, plus if there's any organization still involved, they get a small part as well. And the whole idea behind it, if I make refined or just collect a few, is to really give the creators in the community also the ownership of these artworks, to use these sales to support the communities as well, so they go back into the community. And it's like an ecosystem that strengthens, not only highlights your individuals and creatives, but it goes right back into the community as well to support other events and initiatives that are happening, right?
Exactly. We are trying to apply some mechanism, and my discovery in Web3 again, why is meaning a lot, because is new chance setting everything different. Even like a dedicated behavior of AI or logic of the blockchain or set up organizations. And it's completely different, and we are stand for changes, and definitely we need to be a more equal. And what is mean equal? Like a DAO is will mean equal, because no lines, there are people have the same rights, same voice power, and we have already 7 people on the DAO, and we continue onboarding on the main DAO. But yeah, give power, equal power.
And I mean, you did already mention or touch already on a little bit, but how was that transition for you also? Because you're giving so much trust also into this community, right? Because if you move from one organization and structure to the DAO, It's like you said, it's giving away also power and letting the community thrive and also shape itself and take a lot of influence. Um, how was that experience for you the last week, to see it come together?
Well, there's many feelings. It is a mix of feelings,
Yeah.
and but main things that is for me is research. It will be how it will be, right? And I don't wanna honor anything because we are made it together. And for me, I think it's very fair, in this way. Even like it put also activities and thoughts on the blockchain. Yeah, because we may make a proposal in the DAO, like it, and it's is very transparent. Actually, everyone can go and see our DAO, who proposed what, and voting and numbers of DAO. There's information is open. Everyone have like it, even picture close to the wallet inside. You will understand, but is also to be in the history because choice in the history. We actually made it so much for I think diversity in the Web3. I don't want to compete, but I try to explain about the Global Digital Prize. It is turned from 2023 beginning and still going every day. If you saw NFT, there's our business model and approach that we are fair rewarding every party participate in the NFT. But this was created for Global Digital Pride. And we done 30 prize, and this was more than 7 million engaged of all campaign. It was 20 platform, different NFTs, and
That's
we are
huge.
stepping a lot. And we need to live forever on the blockchain, all information. I really believe that all actions is supposed to be less actions because transaction and gas fee is cost for you, right? But it's not ridiculous prices it was in the past, but at least you are thinking what you're doing, and decentralization is beautiful.
It is. It is. And so when you're talking about the importance of keeping it on chain to have this decentralized approach, so it's basically the backbone of giving the safe space, right? Can you maybe also go a little bit more in detail on how else it's eliminating the barriers in fashion related to marginalized groups and gender, ethnicity, physical or mental diversity? I can go on and on. There's so many different groups out there that we want to create safe spaces for. Can you elaborate a little more on how these digital identities that you're actually expressing also in choice and in these digital worlds, how they eliminate these barriers in fashion and beyond?
Great question, like it, because also we can talk that as a digital identity in Instagram is your digital identity, but we are more focusing in 3D, in the immersive technologies, in the virtual reality. And there's several good platforms that we are using that we love so much and have a development there that really give you our so much benefits. And I have one example that was my first example, kind of answer on this question for myself. In the beginning, we have a researcher from Switzerland, and they are naked research how digital avatar can be implemented into a transition from one gender another period and pre-transition because you start to understand yourself and accept yourself that you are different gender. And sometimes for people it's very hard facing, to go to the streets in different gender. And dysphoria, there is, no complaints that we have it, but people really suffering by this because
Yeah.
current situation in the world not welcome, but by digital avatar, you can come in the virtual reality, you can be in different gender, and you can be represent and play this role. There is a real time, I don't know, simulation where it can be applied, but also about the digital fashion. We have a lot of avatars, and we have a beautiful artist who has made it for us, like auras. We have lamp designs, Lizdet, like many people, Lucy, who is made a beautiful thing, but it's also expression. Sometimes I can like it have this bubble, so balloons or stars or choice around me, but when I go in the VR, I do. and I have a dance and I can dance and be in the latex. I'm sorry, I'm wearing like a latex with a very like it's some technological implemented with a color like it moving on myself. I never put it myself on the real time. And there's a give UI expression because identity is yourself, how you present for different societies, yeah, how you accepting yourself. But even you go in Instagram, there is one digital identity, yeah, and your way how you are like moving. LinkedIn sometimes is different digital identities, yeah, and digital identities is everywhere, digital especially. But I'm thinking full power for me when you represent as an avatar, not fluffy picture, right? And when you can make some reactions is more deeper engaged for me. And for me, this digital identity more linked for physical identity, yeah, that
Yeah.
is Instagram or LinkedIn.
Yeah. So if I can just reflect it back, so basically what you're saying is that there's different layers of digital identities, which is also a main part of the topic that we're having today. And we want to also talk about how we express ourselves in these digital worlds. And so LinkedIn and Instagram is like one level, which is pretty much still not in all cases, but in a lot of cases, very close to your appearance in the real world or how you present yourself. And then you have next to the social media platforms, you have another layer which is actually getting into an avatar, a whole different, like a whole full body experience. Actually, if you think about it, and it also allows you to go into spaces where you can absolutely test you can go full on and test all different identities that you'd like to get into. Like I said, you can even start going into becoming in the gaming
Whatever you want,
environment.
a rock, you
Yeah,
know, you
rock
can be a
painter,
rock, you can be a
hermit, whatever.
princess, yeah.
Yeah, it's really wild. And in my previous session I had, we also touched base a little bit on this topic that you also just mentioned, which is basically if you get into these digital identities and you actually have the full body avatar experience in this virtual world, um, you have a different experience and you can explore your identities and you can also test and dip your toe into this world, into that world. And it's like you said, it gives you all these yeah, this flexibility that the physical real world doesn't give us, right? Because society's just the way it is, and it makes it really hard for people to be their true selves in a lot of cases. So I love how you broke that down in different levels of digital identities, actually.
I really like how is Yo Dizzy. She's my lovely friend. How she's representation having about herself when she was coming from the um, classic fashion, you know, like the physical to digital, and she recognized and understand there's no limits. And there's a beautiful, and I think with the digital identity with avatars, still a lot of things is supposed to be developed. Is not custom or easy, but we got it. We have a lot of guys, especially on the special platform as Metadin community and the George and Marcio, you know, there's building a lot or special engineering. We have a games and again, Lisbeth and Ira, and there's a lot. And actually is coming by next month's event that maybe I will be promoted a bit later on, but different layers of identity, but it's very interesting to matching in one. And there's a choice ideas coming, but there's the main our vision and mission, you know, just providing some tool to really help people. Because the choice by me, I was involved into a research and tried to looking for how to support Kakuma refugees camp in Kenya. There is the largest camp in the history. It's 200,000 people inside. It's from UN and 1991, something like this. And there's very diverse community because there is a whole Africa from Sudan, Somalia, back countries with different religions, identities, different reasons why they get, because they are kind of waiting status of refugee because they are not refugees. Support inside is little, but there, especially for LGBTQ plus, is very dangerous because there is attacks, violence, and they try to people really beating. And what the problem? Because they are waiting some document, they are waiting proof of identity because they even not refugees because they have no this proof. by waiting this through the years and years claiming not in good condition. And the problem, because you can verify a lot of documents, but we have beautiful technologies. We don't want to build something new. We try to is honor, because
Yeah.
we know from the marketing that you can track, all like even hashtag or post or behavior. And I had a technology 2020 is was mental recognition status by AI. And there was part that this AI can analyze behaviors, social media. And we would like to give a comprehensive, some statement of by analyzing all your chains, all your socials in one, and maybe propose you are upgrade yourself and learn something and link by AI, again, make it more personalized. Or
Yeah.
make the jobs, because theirs will be also sustainable. Even if we have no enough funds, we can also addressing and processing the people through their our ID to, or, give a proof of personality, because with the Kakuma refugee scam, last things, it's very hard because only two countries giving status refugee for LGBTQA plus is Germany, such
Really?
as you cannot never get,
Gosh.
and you have Canada. There is exhausted, like to accept all. Just two countries. And there's a process that's not easy. And definitely, if we will have some technologies that is lead your physical ID, because can verify you, but maybe like it verify your diploma. AI can make it more faster work that we have established in the Africa. And we would like to really address on this technology, not on privilege, technologies dedicated for development countries, because we have a big part of Asia, there's some damage, or, whole Africa, and there's a lot of places that is supposed to be we can know this technology come and improve. There is a big gap, technological or economical, or cultural gap by
Mhm.
some. Definitely, choice is about the identity, because you can be whatever you want. We're trying to providing the safe space that everyone evaluate each other and treat each other as a human, and understand that we are different is okay, until like some violence happening or attacks. But there's also very clear, you
Yeah.
cannot be welcoming if you will be attacked different people. And all attacks is happening because people cannot accept differences and have a biases. So they are that like they against each other. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And then
Yeah, so basically it's really the two worlds that you're covering. We talked at the beginning about the exploring new digital identities in the digital world and actually getting in touch with yourself and understanding yourself a little bit better in a world that's very constraining. But then you just touched base on Choice ID, which is a tool that you guys have in the Choice universe that really helps also proof of identity for people in the real world, if I understand that correctly, right? So you have
yeah. Just still, I would like to be correct with the choice ID. We on the research stage. We're almost like decided, because again, there's will be involved the blockchain, AI, and there is supposed to be comprehensive with advising and also validate you in the different virtual reality with your characters. But we just would like to be kind of aggregator with the needs. Simple development is working, but there is will be our digital identity.
So you're covering the spaces where some in some cases, use cases, it's important to really confirm your real identity, so to have that in place. But then also you want these safe spaces where people can explore themselves and touch base with themselves and be more focused on who they want to be. And that's also a safe space that's decentralized. So it's not owned by any governments or organizations, like, for example, Instagram, which collects all the data. It's a safe space on the one hand, and it's the real identity verification on the other. And it can go in both directions, right?
We need something, and everyone is developed. Nothing. knew about digital identity, and we are not building something big. Again, we are, what is beauty for me, Web3 and decentralization is also public open development. You have open protocols and like you have good solutions. And what you can do is combine, make it interface, interact and talk with the others. There is important if you would like to move your digital assets, on the chain, you're supposed to have this interoperability and going. It's the same as a crypto wallets, maybe someone creating with a MetaMask, but you always know that you can export your account in different framework. For example, talisman that I'm using with the Polkadot, because I can all frames, not only Ethereum, to put it inside, right? And you can move your accounts. There is a kind of identity. There is also your digital passport. Yeah, there's your token. There's your address. There's a collected all information, but only in Web3. But for Web2 is like a social, but we need to merge, like because people
Yeah.
sometimes working very hard in the Web2 and have no zero present in Web3, so it will be not fair. We again thinking about this equal balanced approach of the identity, whereas really will be helpful first of all for marginalizing communities, especially maybe in Africa, who are need to verify, and getting some maybe education or work, by proving, because we can
Yeah.
provide it like it by selected by our layers, very ready people to work. And we can link to work. And digitally, you don't need to be a physical present anymore, right? And you
Yeah.
can get a crypto because there's also big problem for Africa. They have no access for banks. And even you would like to support to send some money, you cannot. And there's also blockchain make a sense in development countries.
So it's like I mean, we just touched base on a few specifics of your choice ID tool. We had a few cases that we played through, but it's so much bigger than that, right? It connects not only identity, a proof of identity and exploration of identity, but it also provides safe transactions. It also creates
All
education.
transactions will be as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
educations and link for work. What you would like? I would like to have a functionality because actually Linktree, many people know and using Linktree, you added all your contacts. People can see your
Mhm.
websites. Again, there's no comprehensive analysis. You have no, kind of end statement or conclusion by this. We need to get this conclusion, but these conclusions also can be a very suit for some job, and we can link it. AI can doing the operations and algorithms can be work, and it's very good that we are choosing the chain. There is a very interesting and combine blockchain and AI because there is also big movement in this way.
Yeah. So, I mean, it basically touches a lot of areas of life, education, work, identity, and so much more, right?
It was
And
always about the us, we try to make it as a more functionality because it was kind of not in the air, but when it's people coming on each pride, for example, or line up education, people learning. Yeah, if we are having NFTs that we have so long and from 2022 is the first our collection, people support and like it help us to, make a payment for sites and some small deals and things. We are making some support with NFT we're using, but we try to combine in one because we was also decentralized. People cannot following us because we have established there, and sometimes people stuck in one. But we decided if you have some passports, it will be about you. It will be easy also link for interest, personalized by AI.
yeah.
Very important will be personalization, validation, and personalization to our education or job. Yeah,
Mhm.
and also you can verify yourself in the virtual reality.
It's so it's just such a huge universe. It's very complex.
Yeah,
Such a but I love
Web
how it's
three is
bringing everything together. And
Web three is complex, right?
excuse me?
Web3 is in themselves is very complex.
Yeah, that's why. So if anyone out there is having any questions, please throw them out there. We'll definitely bring them in on the fly. I'm just checking right now. I think we're good for now. So maybe next, you already mentioned a few challenges. So you were talking about the interoperability between different platforms. That's still a challenge. I think that's a challenge that all fields are having right now in Web3, is just trying to plug and play and get a modular approach, how you can really enhance this interoperability. Are there any other challenges that you face that really come to your mind when you're thinking back on your journey on bringing this platform to life and this tool?
I will be very, I think, easy saying there's no funds. There's a main problem in the Web3, because there's a problem is not only about the Web3 has become something new during the COVID or accelerating by COVID. There is a great, beautiful idea. It was some push and interest by others, but whole world situation is in the crisis, and a lot of things stopped to work. The main challenge again, why we try to make it sustainability and the DAO, because need to be have a funds, and to get a funds we have a more supplies and demand, like or demanded supply, like they have so much projects on the market, but not enough funds, and everyone is good. And I sometimes don't see unity. We are talking about the unity, but sometimes community try to not make it unity, or make it unity with others, like people cannot fully unite. There is also a bigger problem. And there's a mind too, like we just need to have a time. There's a very hard time for the society by many like things that is going on, especially like in the country where I am, or like in other countries. But I feel spring is here. To be honest, I see this interest. I see more activity, people more dive deeper, and the technology become more accessible. Because you're supposed to be known before crypto winter that it starts in 2000, like two, right? Theirs was good. We actually was on the beginning. It was some different way, but the technology was not accessible. To getting funds on the crypto wallet, you need to make it, you need almost programming, there's technology was very hard. But we have now is like a layer 2 and very good layer 2 of Ethereum, very fast, cheap, game orientated, with including with the AI, and you have openly development. There is a helping developers to learn, supporting all languages. We have it, and it's something very existing like it in hard time, but it's feeling that this will be changed. And one UK writer, I don't remember the name, but he is mentioning there's a century, half of 4 seasons, and beginning of the winter, and winter the time to survive, and I wish for all of us that is spring is coming very soon by this year, because we'll be like an accurate, by math, 25, 25, 25 to going.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, but I hear you. Just to touch base on what you said in the beginning. I mean, 2024 was really a year, even end of 2023, where a lot of fundings and initiatives were pulled back. Investors and supporters were very, very careful about the projects they're going to invest in, and I think a lot of our Web3, but also beyond, entrepreneurs out there and people getting great projects on the go, they really felt that as well. So I can totally hear your feedback there, and I saw that.
And be honest, Web3 is beautiful, but your continue blooming is supposed to be some resources, and the resource is supposed to become, people contributing so much. I see that people burn out or get physically illness, recovering. I so happy, but people with a big beliefs and working very hard. Again, for me, its choice is coming in very hard my darkness time, my personal dark time, that I still like the process, and I hope I will be like recovering soon as possible. Without the choice, I don't see my life. I really many things is going on around. There's can be infect people, but we always have a choice, and it's your choice. Like and give up or not is hard time, but no back way, no way back. Yeah, because if we are see by investing both in US and Europe in the AI and how US orientated in the crypto, like at half year ago, it was illegal to say, and right now is like at almost 80% of states of United States already
It's in
supporting
a roller
crypto.
coaster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it up or down, but there is supposed to be a readiness and the people who is keeping control. Yeah, if we talk about the governments, they losing control. Is everything is become transparent? Everything is supposed to be like the funds, and like it's supposed to be working differently.
Yeah.
But someone saying is that there's governments. Yeah, we're talking about that is something small, but if we are talking about the governments as a country, let's be a bit visionary. Yeah, and I would like to say it's possible. Estonia, there is a related me by my heart. There is a small country with 1,200,000 population. They using governmental blockchain system is distributor ledger technology, actually, how is blockchain to like it says distributed ledger technology. Closed one, governmental from 2006 with the
Mm.
KCI, and you can become electronic residency of this country. It's mainly you are getting like an apply form, and if you approve, you're getting invite in the embassy into your country. They providing your card and card reader. It's mean that you're putting in your computer and every signs by this card on the blockchain. You don't need to notary, and you on the distance driving your business. You have access everywhere. Everything's interoperable. Like at meeting, we have one card for everything. Not many like at an organization. Not like it in Israel is max. Do not communicate. There is a very 99%, 99.9% of country digital. It's possible. They doing public voting for presidents on the blockchain, like at everything, going, and it's possible, but it's democracy. But sometimes
Yeah.
someone's don't wanna show shady actions because they will be transparent, like it's where money goes, like and then what is going on.
Yeah, it's a little bit like COVID. Everyone said, just to bring a stupid example, probably, but home office is not possible, and suddenly it was possible. And this is like the same moment. There's a country showing, yeah, it is possible. It's doable, and so there's hope for countries and governments also to move in a more transparent and yeah,
Easy is for
balanced
humans,
direction.
because I don't like, because many talking, we have a lot of, if we're talking on the governmental level, in each
Yeah.
country, we have some automatization by calling on the some emergency, they can send or by voice, but there is a working like 20 years ago, so maybe, why is not AI? Why is like customer service not like, because it's for humans, government stands for humans, but it is my mission maybe talking there is a technology stand for humanity, because it's very important, and
Ethic
I would
for
like to see it.
humanity.
Yeah, because we need to see more human-centric technology. It will be a really help people, because the market with the no money, there's a world situation as well, because was a lot of things developed and put it money on this development by other side that don't need to be exist.
Yeah. Yeah, so
People
I
compete.
love how we, yeah, sorry.
No, people compete. We don't need to compete. We need to make it unity. We need to stop to build, sit for round table and unite what we have already. It will be sustainable. Yeah, because over development, over competition, over marketing, like people need start to learn each other how to communicate and find, like not only for us solution, but for next generation. There's a for what we are doing,
Yeah.
in the
And I love how you put that as like ending for the session. Put a little bow on top. It was a beautiful summary of why we're actually doing all of this, and also why Choice came to life, and why you're developing the products and the platform the way you are. I loved how you touched onto the challenges, especially what's happening in the world and how it's affecting founders, entrepreneurs, and businesses, and how you're bringing it now into the positive outlook on a few great examples of governance already going the right direction, actually applying these Web3 technologies. And around all these topics, what we always say, and I always come back to this on the Innovative series, it's if you have the community, which Choice is really offering at that platform for people to connect, to help each other, to learn from each other. That's the basis of everything, and then finding out how you can work together and find good solutions. So huge cheers to you for your initiative, for building and nourishing Choice, for bringing Choice ID on the way, and all these great benefits that people are gonna and values that you're bringing along with it as well. And I just wanted to thank you also for coming on and for sharing your story, and also underlining the importance and reminding everyone how important it is to remember our communities, and even though the world's crazy, and not forget to look left and right who's maybe also struggling, and making sure that we bring everyone along on this journey.
No, thank you so much. Thank you for beautiful words, and thank you for the experience, because it's not only the event. Yeah, we have a call before, we know each other. Is an experience, some writing, comments, shaping and discussion on habit, and it's cool. It's just beginning. Thank you for this co-creation and engage. And it's very big thank you, and I really appreciate to be between very strong guests that you have. You are doing beautiful job, and the beautiful topic that you are watching from the different people, different angles, and we are together try to discovering what is digital identity. Yeah, everyone have own identity, vision of identity, but Digital Fashion Innovation Series is dive deeper and deeper on the different levels. Thank you for the experience. I'm glad to co-create more, and thank you everyone who was with us, and the guys that I see in some comments. Thank you for the support, and let's go.
Perfect. The pleasure is all mine. I can give everything right back to you. So thank you so much for the session. Everyone out there, I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you want to reach out to Alex, you can, reach him out on probably LinkedIn, or I don't know which platform you would prefer. We can also post the link to the Choice white paper after underneath in the comments if you like, and you guys can also follow up as well.